Okay, before we begin, can I share with you a very interesting shaila that's very relevant to what we've been learning? Someone came over to me last night. Rabbi Glatstein, I forgot by Mincha yesterday to Daven. He forgot to daven Mincha yesterday. And then he davened Marav twice. And he wanted to know if in the Tashlumin for Mincha, he should say V'sein Talamat Levracha. You got the case? The guy came over to me after Marav last night. It's like, this guy, he's looking at me. I know there's something, like with this twinkle in his eye, he's got something up his sleeve. He forgot Mincha. Should he daven V'sein Talamat in the second Shemona Esrei? What would you say? Man, do you say yeah?
Yes.
Let's say somebody forgets Mincha Erev Rosh Chodesh, and the night is Rosh Chodesh. Do you daven Rosh Chodesh? Do you say Al V'Yaveh in both Shemona Esreis? So that's the Mechaber in Siv Tes. In the Ramah, V'hu adin im lo yispala Mincha be'erev Rosh Chodesh mispalo shel Rosh Chodesh shtayim. Okay, so he says at night you say to Rosh Chodesh because now it's Rosh Chodesh. So if you did not say Al V'Yaveh in the first one, and you mentioned it in the second one, so now you're indicating the first one is for Tashlumin, and the second one is for Chiyuv, so then you're not going to be Yotzei with the Tefillah of Tashlumin, because Tashlumin always has to come second. Okay, fine. So I was looking around, scrounging before the shir. What about V'sein Talamat Levracha? Did we discuss that? The Bir Halacha here, okay? Look in Bir Halacha, Siman Kuf Ches on Sif Tes. He says, Ayin Mishna Berura, Hatam. What's the reason why, if you didn't mention Yal V'Yav in the first one, you mentioned the second one, you have to daven again? Because he's Megala Das that you're Niskavein L'Shem Tashlumim first, and we already explained him, Hiktim Tashlum L'Shalchol Lo Yatza. Says the Bir Halacha, Ayin B'derech Chaim Shekasav, Dehu Adin L'Mishan Eschayev L'Espala Shtayim B'Yom Rishain Shemaschil Lomer Talamatar. He needed to daven 2 Shemona Esreis on the first day that they started V'sein Talamatar Levracha. Hainu Sheshachal Espal Mincha B'Hayom Shalafanav. V'tzarach Espal B'Erev Shtayim U'Lahaskim B'Shem Talamata. So Ber Halacha says explicitly, he has to daven twice. He has to say in both V'sein Talamatar Levracha. V'loi Hizka B'Rishayna. He didn't mention in the first one. V'Hizka B'Shniya. Now what if you didn't say it in the second one? So you said it in the first one. The first one was L'Shem Chiyuv. The second one was L'Shem Tashlumim, and you thought because I'm being mashlim a tefillah that didn't need V'sein Talamatar Levracha, I don't need to say V'sein Talamatar. So you daven, so I would have said, okay, you for sure have to daven again. It's not so pashut. Did we have this? That it's not so pashut that you have to daven again. So the Bir Halacha says you make a t'nai. Yachsav yispal b'torzen davar yasa. Im chayv ani yispal teile chayvasi. V'yam lav teile linedavasi. Now, in the Mishnah Berura, he brought that you do not have to daven again.
Ramah says it. Ramah says
well, that's because we're dealing with Yal V'Yaveh. By Marav you don't have to say Yal V'Yaveh. What's the shita of the Pri Chadash? He says, "Uva Mishnah Berura takti liftar." In the Mishnah Berura, I said you're pater. If you look in Sivkat, where did the Mishnah Berura say you're pater? From the Pri Chadash. I don't know. That's one place, but that's not the Iker place. Where's the here? He should quote the Pri Chadash here. In in Lam Vav, he's talking about a case, let's say like this. Let's say you didn't mention Yalav Yavai in Mincha of Rosh Chodesh. Oh, if im lo yisal mincha b'yom shalafnei yom shemaschil lo mit talmat avrach masal aver shtayim yishamat b'shem v'di'evan im lo yishal b'shal tashlumim yatsa v'ayin be'ber halacha. Which ber halacha? This one. So who's he quoting over here? This is a Pri Chadash. He says, "Im lo yispal shachris b'yom rishon shel Pesach u'v'yom shmini atzeres kishamashlim b'mincha yisal to Hashavua v'im ta b'tashum yispal k'moishas ruilas ol shachris einoi chayzer." Interesting. So whose shita is this? This is the Chaya Adam and the Magen Givarim. So who's the Pri Chadash that he says that he's quoting? Where is this Pri Chadash? Maybe in Sivkatan Chaf Vav. Take a look in Sivkatan Chaf Vav. He says you say twice. That's that's a shita right here in Chavav. The Pri Chadash holds that you don't say Rosh Chodesh in the second tefillah. So in other words, in this case, someone didn't daven Mincha on Erev Rosh Chodesh. When you make it up, you don't say Yalav Yavai. So what about this? Think about this. If the case was you missed Mincha on Erev Rosh Chodesh, when you say two Marevs, you're supposed to say Yalav Yavai. If the Pri Chadash says you do not say Yalav Yavai in the second tefillah. Why not? Because you're making it up for a tefillah that did not require Yalav Yavai. Would the Pri Chadash say you also don't say V'sein Talamata L'bracha in the second Marev? L'chayra. Right? The Pri Chadash would say you also. That's why the Bir Halacha is saying that in the Mishnah Berura I wrote that you're pater, because many Achronim say like the Pri Chadash. Uda Avid Kamar Avid, Uda Avid Kamar Avid. But
we said you do say it, right?
We said you did say it. Yeah, but right, we don't pass like the Pri Chadash. However, if you didn't say it in the second one, you will not repeat it because of the Pri Chadash. So in other words, L'chatchila, we don't pass like the Pri Chadash. B'diavad, we will pass like the Pri Chadash. Right? So again, the chiddush of the Pri Chadash is when you're making up a tefillah for a zman that did not require a certain insert, you do not say that insert. It's a pella that you wouldn't say the insert. You need rain now. You need, it is Rosh Chodesh. Pri Chadash says, you don't have to say it. So l'chatchila we do say it, but b'diavad you would not go back. So someone who didn't daven Marav on Rosh Chodesh, and now he's davening two shachrases, and he didn't say Yalav Yavai in the second tefillah, there the Mishnah Berura also paskins, you don't have to go back. Because if you were davening the Marev itself, you wouldn't have to go back. The Tashlumin is not better than if you davened Bismana. You hear this? When you're saying, let's say, two shachrases, because you missed a Marev on Rosh Chodesh, and you didn't say in the second one Yalav Yavai, you don't go back. Is that also in deference to the Pri Chadash? L'chayra. Right. That requires more analysis. Okay, sorry to take you back to this, but I thought it was interesting.
That Friday night, if you get Mincha, you would say it.
No, good, very good. I almost spoke that out, but I didn't. The Lavush says, Friday night, if you're making up for Mincha, even the Pri Chadash would agree that the second tefillah you daven shel Shabbos, because it will be a zilzal to daven a weekday tefillah. It will be a zilzal. But the Pri Chadash holds, when you make a makeup, the pshat is probably that a Shabbos tefillah is the same thing as a weekday tefillah. It's not a different. Even on Shabbos, really, you should daven a weekday tefillah. Just al tircha de tzibura. So, okay. So that's segment number one.
Recording stopped.